We're going to try to get through this shit before my phone overheats. Arcadian, Equilibrium, Shoreline Theory, Part 5. This is Caramel. This is going to be a long one, and I don't normally agree with this kind of thing, but trigger warning, I guess. And I know this is going to come across like Chris Crocker, leave Britney alone. I don't care. This one is harder to explain. 1, because Caramel doesn't fit neatly in my theory. And 2, I am finding out that this subject matter hits closer than I thought even after weeks on repeat. It doesn't fit well because it bleeds out of the theory. It's Vessel in Arcadia. It's also Vessel in the real world here with us. This song is the first one in the album where the allegory starts to thin. What's underneath? It's just a person, like you or me. I hear the real world incidents in the lyrics first, so they are what I hear louder than the lore. To me, that makes it much harder to fit in the theory. There's so many real life instances infused into the lyrics. Pulling it apart feels difficult. Feels like maybe I shouldn't even do it. But to me, this takes place in and out of Vessel's psyche. Instead of breaking the fourth wall of the narrative lore, he is installing for us a window. This internal struggle that's been happening in the album is finally linked to real-world instances. This self-discovery that made Vessels, that he's been doing, it didn't start when this album dropped. This has been years in the making. It's happened in a split second at times and stretched over months in others. This acknowledges the man behind the mask. And I want to point out that even in the lore, it's explained that before he was Vessel, before he agreed to worship sleep, he was a person. A person with dreams, drama, fucking goals, hopes. Sleep came to him. Vessel was a person that lived and breathed just like you before he put on the mask. Once he did, that was a proclamation. I want the music to be more important than me. Vessel is just as screwed up as we all are. He's human, he's fragile, infallible, just like you. So when Sleep bestowed her blessing on who he was and he became Vessel, those hidden detriments slowly became apparent. He's been walking the shoreline for years. This journey I've been explaining is the life he's been living since the first acceptance of Sleep, since Sleep Token first formed. He's compared himself to pieces of ancient currency, just something to be bartered with, like a quarter in a jukebox. He's balanced between roses and landmines, beauty and destruction. Those that trivialize his journey and the way he's going through it is something he doesn't want to let bother him, but it hurts nonetheless. He feels trapped by what he's created, and he's sick of people trying to belittle it and take it away. The chorus of "Stick to me like caramel, walk beside me till you feel nothing like at all." It's a plea for the supporters in Arcadia, which any part of him that he can get to accept himself, and in real life, us, to stay true to him and his vision. His fucking journey to mental health and happiness. Why would you want to take that? Why would you want to limit that from somebody? He's asking us to not give up on him, even if he feels like giving up on himself. For us, he's been in Arcadia since Friday. But for him, he's likely been on this journey for fucking years. He's been walking the shoreline for God knows how long, torn between balancing Eden and Sleep, and still trying to stay true to himself. He gets asked so many times if he's happy, and he can't say either way, because he begs no pardons. He refuses to ask for help. It breaks my fucking heart, because I've been in the darkest mental holes that you'd ever care to fear, and those lines cut right through me, and like my emotional armor is paper. It's fucking dog shit. He says it's harder now, meaning Sleep never warned him that gaining the renown and the glory that she promised that he strove for would come wrapped in misery and ridicule. He calls out those that strip his coping mechanisms away by shouting his real name just to see him squirm, callously jabbing at an animal in a cage over and over. Just for your fucking enjoyment? Fuck you. He doesn't shy away from it. He's a bigger man than me. He openly musing about hiding in the limelight, about starting such an eccentric journey to mental health and making it so public. This is not a diss. I sit here in my own fucking house and god damn it, I create the most elaborate worlds I can imagine to cope with the harshness of life and its effects on me. He says everyone wants eyes on them. Be like, everyone wants to, don't look at what I did. Whatever. He's saying that he just wants people to enjoy his music. That's recognition enough. He doesn't care if he's attached to his creation. He is proud enough of it for it to stand on its own. And it can. It has. We're looking at it. This song is temporally long. Vessel is traveling in and out of Arcadia throughout the lyrics. He's having mental battles for God knows how long. He doesn't care if you showed up only to take his desire of anonymity away. He still wants you to sincerely enjoy his music. Show me the hands. That's what he's saying. He is both father and mother. He birthed this. He has fought to protect it and nurture it for years. We've watched it grow. We've been the village it took to raise it. And when your offspring faces ridicule and in fucking dismissal, that sweet dream becomes bitter. But to keep the music standing on its own, he can't interfere. So there's no one left to tell. He is now wise enough to know he has still got so much left to give and to not be bitter. But he's also past the time to stoop to the level of being childishly petty, returning fire with online comments or public statements. Vessel has been struggling through Arcadia. Walking the shoreline has become such a grueling endeavor. The constant push and pull between Eden and Sleep, as well as Vessel, still trying to get his peace and reach his goal. He says the stage he's decided to show the world his journey on has become a prison. It's a reward for him not giving up, yet it's still a nightmare to face, to live through. The downside that we know nothing about, the shit that he keeps private, that's probably torturing him inside. His war of attrition didn't start at track 1 of this fucking album. It started at the beginning of Sleep Token, at the very first courageous performance. Every small-scale battle that's taking the praise and applause, along with the jeers and the comments, slowly wear down that hopeful optimism that this journey through Arcadia was even worth starting. The deepest incisions, the parts he thought and dreamed and imagined would be the best, are turning out to be the worst. Hope is falling from the highest altitude. He thought this journey was going to make him better, but he's second-guessing every step through Arcadia now. Each muscle is screaming in agony, every fiber of emotion frayed raw. His two halves are part of this war of attrition, battling each other. Sleep screaming, these days of days, I wish it all away. These days are excruciating. Vessel is trudging through Arcadia. The path is right there, but every step takes every ounce of willpower he has. Eden and Sleep are adding to the weight on his shoulders along this journey. This goal is just ahead, but there's no way to tell how close. He thought things were different, that this attempt had promise, but he's on the shoreline coughing up blood and everything's still the same. While Sleep is screaming, Eden is still trying to supplicate. Didn't I give you what you came for? Even though you have jaded my journey so much that I'm terrified to open my own front door. Imagine being so physically exhausted that every muscle movement makes you want to collapse and give up. Imagine being so mentally overwhelmed that you can't tell good from bad, having a panic attack while chained underwater. Imagining trying to simply become better in your own way while the two halves of you are warring inside. Vessel's work did pay off. His music is beginning to fly into a grander world, yet he's missing his own wings and he's falling away, but burdened by carrying the flicker embers of hope from Eden and the seductive risk of losing himself in sleep. He keeps dancing along to the rhythm. With all this weight, he decides to dance along the shoreline, deeply hoping that he has gotten better, but filled with dread that maybe he didn't. And Vessel approaches the heart of the realm. Even in Arcadia, though, there's no guarantee of peace. Shoreline Theory, what do you think?